Today, we're going carnivore shopping. Stay tuned. Well, I guess I get to go straight to the meat section. I don't have to go all over the store anymore. The first thing we come on is, of course, the frozen stuff, frozen chicken strips, seafood. It's all fairly expensive and breaded, which isn't really carnivore, so it's not really what I'm looking for. So we'll just have a look at this and pass it right on by. Here we are at the ground beef. You all know how this works. The bigger the package, the cheaper it is. They have these little 1 pound packages, 3 pound packages. Looks like the rate's about, 4 something a pound. It's not terrible. You get over here to these big ones, these 10 pounders, and they're like under $3 a pound. But then you got to do all that work to separate it out. I already have some ground beef at home, so it's not like I really need any right at this moment. So I will just go ahead and pass that up for now too. And once we get past all the individually packed ground beef and the organic stuff, then we start coming to some lamb. I've had lamb a few times. I used to raise my own sheep. I don't mind lamb. It's a pretty mild flavor. So that may be something I get. It's, not terribly expensive compared to beef, really. Obviously, they've got plenty of different steaks, but, you really got to figure out what's the best value. So, you want to spend $16 a pound for a T-bone, or, is there a bigger cut of meat, a roast or something you can get for a lot cheaper and, make cuts yourself. That's kind of the idea I'm going for here. What can I find that's the best value, really? I'm definitely intrigued by this brisket. I've never cooked a brisket, but man, they sure are delicious. So might be something I have to pick up eventually, but not today. Next, we'll make our way through the sausages and the brats. I like sausage, I like brat, but obviously with carnivore, you got to really look at the label and the ingredients and see if there's anything added like sugar, corn syrup, or grains. So I'm looking at this and it looks like there's corn syrup on the label. So that's not really something you want when you're going carnivore. Now we're coming to the ribs. The ribs, are pretty cheap. That might be a future purchase. It's not something I'm going to get today, but I don't have a lot of experience cooking ribs. I imagine I'm going to get a lot more experience cooking all kinds of meat here real soon. I'm also kind of looking for stuff that'll fit in the air fryer. I just bought myself an air fryer for my birthday, so I'm thinking things, smaller cuts, or something I can cut up myself. There's all kinds of pork. Pork's, a pretty good option. I like pork loin, pork butts, whatever. And they're generally a lot cheaper than beef, of course. One thing I've noticed lately with ground beef being so expensive that, I thought I'd look at ground pork, but it's not any cheaper than ground beef. But I do have a grinder, so that's another thing I could do is actually grind up my own meat if I can find, cheap enough cuts. And now to the chicken. I like chicken, and so I'm definitely wanting to put some wings and some drums in the air fryer, see how they turn out. I am thinking about even getting a whole chicken and putting a whole chicken in the air fryer, see how that goes. I've heard it works out pretty well as long as you have a big enough. I think mine's 6 quart, I want to say. I have to double check on that, but yeah, it's be an interesting experiment for sure. There's definitely a lot of choices when it comes to chicken, whether it's fresh or frozen or organic or cage free or whatever, and quite a bit of variation in price as well. Ground chicken, something I haven't ever really used before. I imagine it's fine. It's fairly cheap, but I don't know. You let me know in the comments what you think about ground chicken and the taste, especially if it's going to be for carnivore. Then it's not like it's going to be, added to hamburger helper or some sauce or some dish. It's just going to be by itself. So I'm not too sure about ground chicken. I might try it one of these days. We got ham. I love me some ham, but man, ham's kind of expensive. So, but I do enjoy ham, especially at Thanksgiving and Christmas instead of turkey. Would much rather have ham. Obviously, a big old ham, a whole chunk of ham is going to be cheaper than buying like ham steaks. And that brings us to the seafood. I'm not a real big seafood eater. Like, I don't even know if I've ever had tilapia. I definitely like sushi and, fish and chips, whatever that is, like cod or whatever. No idea what this is, swale or sway, or I don't even know what that says. There is, some pretty, shrimp is okay. Everybody out here in the Pacific Northwest likes salmon. I could take it or leave it. I don't really care. But now these tuna steaks up here really intrigued me. I definitely like tuna, whether it's raw or cooked. But, it's a little expensive. So, even on sale. I probably should have got it, but, we'll see what. There's plenty of time for that in the future. Bacon, of course I'm going to get bacon. Might as well get just, the biggest pack for the best price that you can get. I mean, of all the bacon I've eaten in my life, I don't know that I've really noticed that much of a difference from one brand to another. It's all bacon. Now we're passing up the sausages and like Polish sausage, lunch meat. It's coming up. I mean, it's meat, and from what I've read or seen on YouTube, that's an option. If you're on a strict budget and you're still just trying to do carnivore and meat. I mean, hot dogs and bologna are technically meat, and it's fine if that's what you can do. I pass it up for now. And this is coming into the cheese. So from what I've seen, again, you can eat cheese on carnivore. I think it's more an issue of whether or not you're lactose intolerant or whatever. But I already have, shredded cheese at home. But what I'm really looking for is like some sticks of cheese or some cube cheese. I was thinking about getting a block of cheese and just cutting it up into cubes. But I actually find this bag of cubed cheese that I grabbed along with some string cheese, and seemed like a good idea for now. I may get a block at a later date and cut up my own, but it's fine for now. I'm also looking for, I've seen on somebody's video, I thought these are like tortillas made of cheese. I swear I saw cheese tortillas instead of flour, and I was really hoping that's what this was, but it's not. So, oh well. I'm definitely a fan of like a charcuterie board, just little hunks of meat and cheese. I mean, I've had that in the past, and it's really good. So, I mean, other than, of course, it's going to be more expensive than doing it yourself, but that's always an option for a snack or even a meal. And the price isn't too bad for the cube cheese, I guess. And that brings us to the butter. Now that's one of the most interesting things I've been seeing on watching carnivore videos is the amount of butter that people eat. And, in the back of my mind, I'm always thinking about this stupid food pyramid nonsense that we were taught as kids, and how that was all just a bunch of BS. And how, if you eat too much butter, you're going to die of a heart attack. But, we're talking about people eating a stick of butter a day and putting, basically just eating butter, just cold butter by itself. It's interesting. And we'll explore that more, I'm sure. Eggs, I'm not too worried about. I have my own supplier of eggs. A friend of mine has chickens, so we're good there. So I got a whole chicken, a pork loin roast, frozen drumsticks, frozen thighs, some cheese cubes, some frozen shrimp, some string cheese, butter, of course, bacon, and some frozen hamburger patties. Oh yeah, and I got a case of sugar-free Red Bull, and here's the total.